So look, right? So it's kind of crazy how I was about to have a thought about something about phones, right? And look what I check on my look at what I check on my YouTube recommended, right? Look, now if that's not a sign, I don't know what not. Remember I was telling you about the disconnect earlier, right? Because that's the thing, like especially with this one I was saying about the mental health of phones, because a lot of times like we be so glued to the phone, and a lot of things that we pick up or that we adapt to is through whatever the phone is showing us, because we got it right here in our face, right? Everything else is around us, but we be right here in the phone a lot of times. We looking down, we hear, and so I remember there was a study today was saying how like you can get like some type of, it's not a disease or anything, but it's like a little thing where it's like you always looking down at your phone, you can get like neck problems, and it's like different problems that you can get from keeping yourself glued to the phone. And I think that that's one thing we don't do. We don't take a break from the phone a lot of times. Like I even like, it's crazy. Like I was even watching yesterday. Like I was walking and I was seeing people like people were literally stopped. Like all the other cars went, but it was still somebody like stopped. And then when I looked in the car, like trying to see why they was stopped, here they go. They got their phone in their hand, all right here in the front, like while they driving. I'm just like, you know. So it's just kind of crazy that like we keep the phone, we get a phone more attention than we do our actual reality that we living in, and I feel like that's why sometimes like a lot of us are not um, really taking in the experience that we're having, because we're caught. We've been programmed to be so caught up in the phone. We've been so programmed to be so here, versus out there, Um, and I think it's just crazy how a lot of these experiences, we have experiences that happen to kind of show us like, let's put it down, but we don't. And we continue to do things a particular way. And I feel like that's why um, the phones low key may be our downfall. Well, it is already some people's downfall, but in the long run, like when you realize that you could take more time away from that phone, right? You kind of get to live more of your experience. You get to be more here. But when you're so addicted to being on the phone, addicted to seeing certain things, addicted to watching certain things, um, it takes you away from this reality. So you depend on the phone to be your source of fulfillment, a source of entertainment, source of experience, and that's essentially what takes us away from the experiences in this reality. So when you don't have, so imagine if you didn't have your phone, you just sitting there, you're like, damn, I'm bored. But realistically, it's like you're just bored because you're not on the phone. You're just bored because you're not scrolling through TikToks. You're just bored because you're not doing something on the phone or watching something on the phone. But if you take the phone out of the equation, that's really going to show you what has your attention, what you be putting your focus on. And so it's so crazy how I start thinking about this, and boom, smartphone mental health. I stopped using my phone, and why I changed to a flip phone. I'm just like, it's not a coincidence. It's a sign. It's a pure sign that we need to kind of start disconnecting. We need to start giving more time to living in this experience versus than just living off of the phone or only having the phone. Like I said, if you have the phone here in your face, you're not focused on nothing that's around you. You focus on here. You focus on everything that's going on inside the phone, but you're not focused on what's happening in your reality. That's why it's going to be important for us around this time to start learning how to disconnect more from just being on the phone, disconnect more from just being in um, caught up in everything that's on social media. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. So we got to take more time to start disconnecting away. Put the phone down a little more. Even I know they like on iPhones. I know they got a feature where you can like do screen time, where you can have it where like let's say if you've been on the app all day, it'll put it to a point where you block it out. Now it takes a lot of discipline because you got to go in the settings and turn it on, right? But it's a lot of more discipline too because you can go in the settings and turn it off. So that's really gonna see, can you give up that time? Can you put in that time to disconnect away from the phone? Can you really sacrifice that time to actually connect to your reality? Whether that be going outside more, whether that be doing things that's actual in your reality here, or are you fully dependent on the phone? Are you dependent on social media? Are you dependent on the videos that you watch to give you fulfillment? Or are you dependent on the experience and the reality that you're living to give you that you see what I'm saying? So we gotta disconnect from the phones, y'all. Like it's hard, I know, right? But that's part of that thing that y'all gonna learn eventually. Because imagine if all the power go out. This is hypothetical, right? Imagine if all the power go out and the cell phone towers go down and you don't got no service, you don't got no Wi-Fi, you can't talk to nobody. What you gonna do? people are gonna go crazy, right? Because of how dependent they are on the device, the phone. And I get it. The phone is good for our essential call, talk, communication. I get it. But when you're not on that and you're just using the phone for like fulfillment or just to like watch things or just just use the phone. The phone has basically become part of your addiction. You will see how without that, you're gonna go through a whole cold turkey phase of, damn, I need something to watch. I need something to do. People are gonna go crazy. And I think it's meant to happen like that, for people to kind of see like, damn, I guess I was a little too attached to the phone. Damn, I guess I was a little too dependent on what I needed to see on the internet to make me feel away. Because then when you don't have it, what are you going off of, right? So that's gonna require you to connect inward. That's what's going to require you to connect more inward to the knowledge, the actual wisdom that you already have within you. But we don't tap into it, right? Because it's easy for us to go on Google and find the answer. It's easy for us to go to social media, go to TikTok, go ask somebody else, right? But imagine if you didn't have all that to go ask. How do you get your questions answered, right? You got to connect inward. You got to ask questions within yourself and ask for that wisdom from the universe. And then you're going to see it. I've had a lot of times where there's been instances where um, there were certain things that I probably didn't know, or I had a question on. Then, um, especially in a time period where like I didn't have a phone, because I remember I did go through a time period of life where my phone wasn't working at all. Like, no matter what I did, it just wouldn't work. And I feel like, and it's crazy now looking back at it, like that was a whole sign for me to be off of it, right, and just be connected more in my reality. But hell yeah, I was caught up for a minute about why that phone wasn't working. I was like, damn, I just don't get it. Like, why it ain't working? I'm spending all my time, but I'm not spending time living. I'm spending my time worried about why it ain't working, trying to get it to work, trying to get it to go. But once I kind of got to a point where I learned to start just disconnecting from the phone and really just be more in my experience, like be more focused on things I'm actually doing that fulfills me, I started seeing, hell, I didn't want to really be on the phone like that. Because what is there really to be on there for? I mean, yeah, post pictures here and there, woo woo. But when you get to a point where you're just scrolling all day and hours have passed you by, what are you really doing with your life? What are you really doing with your life? You know? And that's the reflection moment. And yeah, it hit because that's the wake up call for y'all to start giving a little less time to the phone and giving a little more time to your actual reality that you live in. I wouldn't be saying this if it wasn't something that's true, you know? So that's my message for y'all for today. I hope this is connected with somebody. If you have been on the phone a lot, just take the time to disconnect. Whether it be 30 minutes or an hour out of your day that you off the phone, like just get off of it. Do something else, you know. And if you are gonna be on the phone, watch something educational. Really watch something that's gonna help you grow. Don't be just watching fucking funny videos, because that's wasting time. You know, that's for entertainment purposes, right? But what are you really learning from watching that funny video about somebody pranking somebody? What are you really learning about watching that video of other people's lives and what they're doing? What are you doing for your life? You know, at least if you're gonna be on the phone, he'll be telling an experience about that. Like, but nah, so this is my message from my heart to y'all's, and I hope that y'all get this message and receive it well. And if you didn't, just leave it for the next person, because it's a lot of people out there. It's hella people on the earth and on the world. It's a lot of people watching this from US, not US. So whoever comes across this, just leave a like if you resonated with this topic of, us learning to disconnect away from the phones. Or even if you are caught up in the phone, don't be ashamed. Hit the like button. Nobody can see who liked it anyway. So, just like it. So, it's your boy BZ, the Dream Visionist, and we are out.